Hi, I'm Jessica. Today we are going to be going over English grammar. We are going to focus on the present perfect progressive verb tense, also known as present perfect continuous. If you've never studied present perfect before, then check out my other video. In that video, I explain what is the present perfect verb tense and how to use it. In this video, I'm going to explain the present perfect progressive verb tense and make some comparisons against present perfect. Some of my students ask, when do I use present perfect and when do I use present perfect progressive? So I'm going to help you to see the difference in how you use it. Okay, let's get started. For present perfect progressive, you need to use the grammar structure has or have plus been, B-E-E-N. Been, not being. Some people get confused and they think of progressive, they think of ing and being, but you want been. So has or have plus been plus verb plus ing. So we use the present perfect progressive to talk about unfinished actions, which started in the past and continue in the present. So the present perfect continuous emphasizes the continuation of the activity. So it's showing that it's continuing. Words that we commonly use with present perfect progressive are time words like for, since, all morning, all day, all week, all month, all year. For example, I have been writing my essay all week. This would mean you haven't finished it yet. You started writing your essay maybe a few days ago, and then now, as it gets further in the week, you're still writing your essay. The whole action is continuing. However, for present perfect, you might say, I have written my essay, meaning you have already finished it. Let me give you some more examples. Bo has been living in California for 2 years. Has been living. This would be the present perfect progressive, and it's showing that Bo moved to California 2 years ago and still lives there. So she moved 2 years ago and then continues to live in California. If you say Bo is living in California, then we know right now she is living here in California, but we don't know how long she has been living here. If you use present perfect, Bo has lived in California, then we know, okay, she's lived in California, but you don't know when in her life has she lived in California. So if you use a different verb tense, there's going to be a different meaning. Another example is, Tony has been binge watching Stranger Things lately. And if you see in the picture, Stranger Things is a TV show. It's on Netflix. If you don't know binge watching, I've given you the definition at the bottom. So if you see the two words binge and watching, so you can think of watching and then binge a lot. So binge watching is watching several episodes of a TV series, one after another in a short time. So you watch one and then another and then another. So some people binge watch for hours. They have a lot of time or they get so hooked on a certain show that they can't stop watching and they keep watching episode after episode. If I say Tony has been binge watching Stranger Things lately, then that means he started in the past and then he continues until now. So maybe a few days ago or a couple weeks ago, he started binge watching Stranger Things and he's still continuing to binge watch it. If you say Tony is binge watching Stranger Things, that just means right now. For present progressive is binge watching, remember that means right now. So maybe in this picture, that's Tony, and he is sitting and he's binge watching Stranger Things right now. If you say Tony has binge watched Stranger Things and you use the present perfect, this has a different meaning. If you say has binge watched, that means sometime in his life he has done that. We don't know when, and that would just mean he's not doing it anymore. Let's look at another situation in which you use present perfect progressive. So you can use present perfect progressive to talk about recently finished activities with present results that often can be seen. For example, why are you sweating? And the person might say, I have been running. If you see in this picture, maybe he's all sweaty. He's sweaty because he just ran a mile and it was really hot outside. So this activity just finished, but the results of it, him being hot and tired and sweaty, can be seen. And then we can use present perfect progressive. I've been running instead of the present perfect I've run. Another situation you can use present perfect progressive is when we're focusing on the activity and not the result. So I can say, I have been studying. This is why I haven't seen you. We're focusing on the activity of studying. Whereas if you use present perfect and you say, but I have finished my work, now I can see you, then you're focusing on the result. We often use present perfect progressive with how long, so to express time duration. How long have you been reading this book? That focuses on the activity of reading the book. How many chapters have you read? Have you read? That would be present perfect. That focuses on the result, which would be the number of chapters read. So remember, how long is often used to focus on the activity. So I could say, how long have you been saving money? I want to know about the activity. I have been saving, that's present perfect progressive. I have been saving money for 10 years. We're focusing again on the activity. You use how much, how many. This is often used to focus on the result. How much money have you saved? I want to know about the result. I have saved $50,000. Something to keep in mind, don't use non-action verbs. Non-action verbs, also known as stative verbs, are ones that cannot be changed into progressive tenses. So you can't change them into present progressive, you can't change them into present perfect progressive, and all of your progressive tenses. So some non-action verbs are know, be, like, think, has or have, own, need, want, prefer, forget, agree, disagree, understand. So that's not the whole list, that's just some of them. You can search online or go to my website and see a longer list of non-action verbs. So you need to remember these ones we cannot change into progressive form. So you cannot say knowing, being, liking, thinking. Being and thinking, they can be used in progressive but for different meaning. So those ones can, but different meaning. You can't say owning, agreeing, and so on. So for example, I have known Amy since I was 4 years old. This is good. You can say this. So we can use know in present perfect, but you cannot use it in present perfect progressive like this. So if you see in the next one, I have been knowing, you cannot say knowing because it's a non-action verb. So you cannot say, I have been knowing Amy since I was 4 years old. So again, remember these non-action verbs. If we can't use them in the progressive form, then you cannot use them for present perfect progressive. With present perfect and present perfect progressive, you can actually use both of them when you're talking about usual habitual activities. So if something's part of your habit or it's part of your routine, you can use either of them in present perfect or present perfect progressive, and it will have the same meaning. So some common verbs that we use for our usual or habitual activities or situations would be live, work, study, smoke, wear, like wear glasses, wear contacts, like the little lenses you put in your eyes, which I actually wear contacts. Play, it could be play a game like chess, or it can be play a sport like soccer. Go to school, go to work. Read, so if part of your morning routine is you read the same newspaper every morning, maybe the Washington Post, the LA Times, the New York Times, if you read any of these every morning, it's part of your routine, so you could use present perfect or present perfect progressive. Both of them are fine. For example, I have worn glasses since I was 12. Or, I have been wearing glasses since I was 12. You can say either of these, they're fine. Same meaning. So you can do have worn, present perfect, or have been wearing, present perfect progressive, and they'll both be fine. Okay, let's practice. So what I want you to do now is look at the words in parentheses. I've given you a verb, and you need to decide, should I change this verb into present perfect or present perfect progressive? So you can either change it into present perfect or present perfect progressive. Okay, so I'm writing at the bottom to help you in case you don't remember the grammar structures. So present perfect, remember, is has or have plus PP. This means past participle. If you forgot all about present perfect and you need help, please watch my other video that explains the present perfect verb tense. This one we have been studying through this whole video is present perfect progressive. It's going to be has or have plus, do you remember what's the other word? Good, been. Remember, B-E-E-N. Plus, do you remember the other last word? Because it's present perfect progressive. So think of progressive, that it has the ing, so you need a verb plus ing. Sorry about the writing, but that's to help you remember. So right now you're going to change into, remember, present perfect, has or have plus past participle, or present perfect progressive, has or have plus been plus verb plus ing. I'm going to give you a few seconds, and if you need longer, please pause the video and then push play when you're ready. Okay, I'm going to go over the answers. Remember, if you didn't have time to guess the answers and think about what it should be, then put pause, and then when you're ready, push play. Okay, the first one. Katie is waiting for the bus. For the bus for 30 minutes. So you need to use wait. You should have said has been waiting. Remember, here we have time duration for 30 minutes. 30 minutes ago, she started waiting at the bus stop, and this activity or action is still continuing. She's still waiting. So you want present perfect progressive. She has been waiting. The next one, Pedro is living in Canada, but he in Mexico, France, and the US. You want to use live. What should it be? If you said has lived, you're correct. We don't know when in his life he has lived in Mexico, France, and the US, but we know sometime in his life he has. So this would be unspecified time. You want to use present perfect. The last one, you have two blanks. I, Abdullah, for 10 years. We, best friends since high school. Remember, no. Is this an action verb? No, it's a non-action verb. So you can't do present perfect progressive, so you can only do present perfect. So I have known Abdullah for 10 years. We, if you said have been, you're correct. We have been best friends since high school. If you want more practice, you want to see the list of non-action verbs that can't be used in the progressive form, then please check out my website. It's just my name, www.jessicainthavong.com. And there you can have this PowerPoint and you can have access to all of the resources. So hopefully present perfect progressive is a little bit easier for you now. And if you want to try and make an example sentence and write it in the comments, that would be great. And I can correct it for you and tell you if you need to work on anything. Okay, it's nice seeing you, or kind of seeing you. Hope to see you next time. Bye.